Hello everybody, it's me, your boy, welcome back. So reality, this concept. Well, if this concept were a planet, it would be the 7th planet. Reality is like the sun. The distance between, it's a lot of distance. I mean, this concept is out there, for sure. An entire dimension for the Deep Dark with custom mobs, custom blocks, custom loot, custom, like, practically everything. Insanely out there, but also amazing. Today we'll be checking out a Deep Dark dimension concept that is firmly in the S tier. If you like what you see today, the mod link is down in the description, check it out, and if you like the idea of 10,000 years or more of good luck, then leave a like on this video. Enjoy the video. The mod with the expanded Deep Dark dimension is called Dead Guys Untitled Deep Dark by Dead Guys. So imagine this, in vanilla Minecraft we have the Badlands, a very nice place. We take the Badlands, make it an entire dimension. Of course, with an entire dimension there's so much more room for content, like custom mobs, custom items, like everything. That's exactly what this pack does. Custom mobs, custom items. I mean, we have the warden here. We even have custom music discs. And I mean, I gotta say, these music discs are kind of a bop. Like, we're talking certified, certainly number ones. So I've kind of developed them in a session. I've been messing with this mod like for hours now, basically all day. I love this thing. However, I have been able to find one downside with the mod. The only downside of this mod that I've been able to find is it's actually not updated for 1.18. The gorgeous mountains, amazing caves, unfortunately, they're both not here. But trust me, the mod will definitely make up for it. So let's talk about the mod a little bit. Custom items, we'll start there. Is there custom items inside of this mod? It's not even a question, really. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are brand new custom item tabs inside of the creative inventory. Look at this. There's so many blocks here. There are so many. Now, some of these are a little familiar looking, like this one. But then some of them are, like, really out there. Like this thing. What even is it? I have no clue at all. Kind of looks like metal or bone or something. But it's really good looking. Now, also, we have custom mobs, including, of course, our favorite, the warden is right here. Candles. The candles in this pack, they're a little bit different, though. I think they look pretty nice. And then we have plants, and we have these things, too. There's a lot here in this mod. I would definitely consider myself a vanilla Minecraft main. I mean, the natural beauty, the simplicity of the game, exactly how the developers designed it, it's great, I love it. It also has nothing to do with the fact at all that I can't even begin to wrap my head around some of these super technical mods. I like the vanilla game. That means I also really like mods that fit into the vanilla game. If you start a world with this mod, everything is the same. You go punch the tree, you make the wooden tool, then you make the stone tool. Progression is exactly the same. Most of the game, to be honest, is going to be the same until you start reaching the caves that get a little bit deeper. Once you get the caves that are a little bit deeper, you're going to find this new block right here. This is where everything starts. If you're trying to go to the Deep Dark like we are, you're going to need this stuff right here. Now, very familiar looking. Look at this stuff right there. You recognize it. Oh, of course you. It's Deep Slate, the best block in the game. You can even rotate it and everything, except this time, it's cold. No, the block is literally called Cold the Deep Stone. It's Deep Slate, but cold. Anyways, this is where everything starts today. Maybe I'm simple-minded, small-minded even. I don't know. It doesn't matter, and I don't care. One thing that I really like about this mod, we have this information book right here to guide you. In case you get lost or something, you have this right here. Now, originally it was bound to F1. Terrible keybind. I changed it to F4. If we ever get lost, we can just check this book. It's going to tell us everything that we need to know. So to get to the Deep Dark, first we're going to need 3 pieces of cold deep stone, very easy to get, a little bit of obsidian, also easy, and some chains. We're also going to need a diamond. Oh man, you're never going to believe what I found. I found practically the jackpot. Look at this, all because of the mod. I found all of these items on the ground, naturally just generated right there. 100%. Yeah, and a stack of crafting tables too. So something like that. Anyways, we have a crafting table right here now. Now we can actually get to crafting this light and dark item. So this item is going to be our gateway into the Deep Dark. Now right now I have absolutely nothing. This is a terrible idea. Don't go to the Deep Dark geared up like this. It's not going to go well. But eventually you craft this item, put a diamond inside of the thing. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, no way. I actually just found a stack of bedrock. That's actually kind of perfect. So we have bedrock right here. This thing needs to be placed on bedrock to actually work. Because, you know, the Deep Dark, it's deep and it's dark. So the music vibes, we love it. There we go. We have it on bedrock right there. Now we put the diamond in it. We've charged it. This is kind of like a respawn anchor. Now if we go ahead and use it again, we're sent to the new dimension. Here we are inside of a small base camp room. Now, where is everything? That's a good question. Well, everything is not here. So the Deep Dark is a gigantic cave dimension. The main reason you would come here is for mining. Inside of the dimension, the way this mod has it, Ores are more common, so you could come here and find more diamonds, more gold than normal if you're looking for those things. However, at the same time, there's a trade-off here. It's dangerous. All over the Deep Dark, you're going to find Deep Dark-related mobs. You can find the Warden inside of here, different plants. Everything is weird and strange and dangerous. So in terms of the dimension itself, I was checking it out. It seems like the roof of the dimension is at 128. The bottom is at 0. It's essentially the height of the nether, except this time we have literally like just caves everywhere. Also, certain potion effects, like let's say night vision, they don't work here. I try and give myself night vision and it just flashes and then goes away. So night vision inside of this dimension, it's not going to work. But don't worry, normal light sources, they do definitely work. So like torch mining, maybe you use lanterns because you're just loaded, like those will definitely work. Now, this dimension, if you come to this dimension completely empty-handed like me, it's just not going to work. So to actually get anywhere right off the bat, we're going to need to dig. We need to dig and find a cave. However, how would we ever find a cave, like just standing here and digging? It would take a lot of time, definitely. This mod makes it way easier to find caves. It has an item that would be insanely useful in vanilla Minecraft. Wouldn't exactly maybe match the vibe of everything in the game, but it would be insanely useful. So to craft this item, you're going to need these things. I highly recommend crafting this thing before you come to this deep dark dimension, or just like bring these things with you. So here we go. We have this next item right here, the Skulko Finder. If I use this thing, it basically like pulses the area and then like highlights mobs. So I don't know if you saw what happened over there. It highlights that. So that means that there's going to be a mob over there, which also means there's like clear space over there. So I can take my pickaxe and start digging. Now look at this right off the bat. Profit right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Diamonds inside of this dimension, they're more common. This is 100% a mining dimension or like a challenge dimension. It's an interesting concept. If you were to have asked me, like, I don't know, before the Caves and Cliffs update, how would they do a deeper dimension? 100%. I would have said some kind of mining dimension is how they're going to go. I would have never thought that they would make the world, like, literally, like deeper. The concept of negative Y range, I don't know. Maybe it's the small brain again. I couldn't comprehend negative Y coordinates in the overworld. I like how they're doing it nowadays, though, with the deeper overworld. I feel like it makes, like, perfect sense in hindsight. It's great. But the concept of a mining dimension, I do also really like that. So this thing, it has a little bit of a cooldown. We can use it every once in a while. You can see in the hotbar the cooldown right there. But anyways, pickaxes. Definitely bring pickaxes to this dimension. Probably enchant them first. And also armor and good weapons. The mobs that you're going to find inside of this place, they're terrible. They're terrifying. They're not good at all. This is definitely like late game content for sure right here. Gear up first. Alright, so just to show you this thing, I went ahead and gave myself another red sword. I still have no armor at all. The cave should be like right below me, I think, somewhere down here. What is that, even more lapis? That's cool, but here we go. We have a cave system right here. So the caves inside of this dimension, entirely made out of this deep stone stuff. Other than that, pretty much the same thing. Alright, so check this thing out. It kind of looks like the Warden, except it's not the Warden for sure. Definitely not. That's the Deep Dark Villager thing. So can you trade with it? As far as I'm aware, no, you cannot. Damage? Look at that. That's a lot of damage, for sure. Yeah, definitely get some, like, armor or something like that. They deal a lot of damage. A side note, though, while I was trying to run away from that thing, diamonds. Exactly what I'm talking about. Lots of diamonds right there. Some iron, too. And then skulk. So these skulk growths, they actually slow you down. I really like this concept. This makes me really hope that once 1.19 drops, these things slow you down. It's kind of like soul sand. It's a really, really cool idea. Now, all over the caves inside of this dimension, you're going to find candles, except I don't know what's going on. It doesn't actually, like, really, like, light up things very much. I guess it's just dim. That's probably all it is. Like, compared to a torch, though, like, nothing at all. Like, the torch is definitely way better. That's right, there's jump scares, too. And this isn't good. This isn't good at all. So it's really dark. The Warden does exist here. There are Skulk Shriekers. The Skulk Shriekers will summon the Warden. There are also different things like Skulk Poisoners. That's what jumped out at me. It's essentially kind of like a Wither Rose. You step on it and it deals a little bit of damage. So we have Darkness right now and we have Blindness 3 as well right now. Why are they infinite? I'm not too sure. This thing is terrifying. Yeah, there's an advancement. It sums it up. This is terrifying. So we'll just go ahead and keep using that thing. We can check out where mobs are nearby, which brings us to this thing right here. So I found this thing a couple times. Probably going to want to heal up a little bit before we check this thing out. This thing is called a Skulk Might, and good news, it doesn't have too much health. With another red sword, 2 hits right there. Now, good news about this thing, as far as I could tell, it doesn't really do anything. Like, I can just walk around near this thing, and it doesn't really bother me until I attack it. If I attack it, then it's going to fight back, and it's going to do a lot of damage. But like I said, low health, not that bad. This is the next mob, Skulk Zombie right here. It's like a zombie, but it's been turned into Skulk, which is really, really creepy of a concept. And I like it. It's also not that strong, and it drops to this block, the Skulk block right there. I don't know if you noticed, but it also dropped the Skulk Mush. I'm not too sure about all of the recipes inside of this pack, but I did figure out that this one, you can craft it like that into a Skulk block. Another thing that I was able to figure out, you can actually wax these Skulk blocks too, with honeycombs. From when I was walking around and checking things out, I wasn't too sure to figure out exactly what that waxing would do. These are all just plain old Skulk blocks. If I'm in normal survival right here, they don't seem to really do anything to me, which is good, but I don't know. You can wax them. If you wax it, it looks exactly the same to me. So I don't know. I do like the animated texture, though. That's really cool. This video should practically be an entire jump scare warning because, warning, yeah, warning. So now I have darkness and blindness again. It's very, very creepy and disturbing. But thankfully, no warden, so that's good. Very interesting concept with these Skulk Shriekers, though. So the Shriekers shriek one time, and then they're emptied like that right there. So check out this Shrieker over here. Yeah, I'm okay. Check out this Shrieker. It had the soul, the noise played, terrifying. I was completely okay the whole time, and now it's empty. To recharge this thing, Soul Soil. You use Soul Soil on this thing if you want a second round of trauma. Soul Soil. That's the way to go. Caves are all over this dimension, new mobs are all over this dimension, more ores are everywhere, and also dungeons. Dungeons are all over this dimension too, and the dungeons, well, that's where the real loot is. So check this out. Here's a dungeon right here. This is going to be insanely, insanely dangerous in survival. All of these spawners right here that are going to drop the custom strong mobs in. But right here, a diamond block right in the middle. Now, it's up to you. Is it all worth it? I don't know. Your call. It's going to be a lot of mobs to deal with, but you can always just take these things out, and then take the diamond and then leave. Now, there are lots of different types of dungeons that I've been able to find. The best type of dungeon, at least from what I've seen, is the tall one right here. This tall thing right here is essentially like a tall jail as far as I can tell, and sometimes they can have like a lot of loot. Now, this one is a little bit smaller. It seems to only have one diamond block and a gold block. But yeah, loot. Sometimes they can have a lot. Like this one over here, this is a bigger one. Look at all the loot inside of this thing. So first off, to find these things, it would be this. You would use the Skulk Finder. Hopefully there would be a mob inside of it or something. Of course, it's going to be dark, so mobs can naturally spawn in here. But then you also have the spawners. If you're close enough, the spawners will work. They'll dump mobs all over the place, like that right there. Over here on this side, we have a spawner that spawns the zombies. Over here, we have a spawner that spawns a different mob. We'll talk about that mob in a minute. It's invisible right now. But check this out. Some loot right here inside of the barrels. If we go ahead and move up one floor, same thing. We're going to have spawners inside of here and even more loot. Now, there's a ladder with buttons. You can climb this in survival, or you can just cheat and fly around. Look at that. Even more loot inside of this thing. Now, same thing. We move up again. Even more loot. Another floor. Check that out. And then we move up again. Even more loot, and then one more time, look at this loot right here. This is the real stuff. So 2 diamond blocks right there, iron, gold, lots of blocks of loot. This dimension is not only a great place to get traumatized repeatedly over and over and over again with jump scares, but it's also a great place to find loot. I found another dungeon over here. This one is one of the 4-room dungeons, at least that's what I call it, because there are 4 rooms here. So we have this room right here, not too bad. This one right here, that is terrifying. Lots of loot on the ceiling though. Over here we have another room, spawners, and then over here we have the last room. As far as I can tell, that's basically it. I'm not too sure if there are going to be hidden chests or anything, but when you find blocks, definitely dig around because check that out. There's diamond right there, so kind of like hidden diamond blocks, but let's talk about these things. The Skulk Spy. The Skulk Spy, the model of this thing is like amazing. I like the shape of it. It reminds me of the Ravager, kind of, but like a little bit different, like the Hoglin 2 or something. And it's strong. It has a lot of health, so check this out. With a netherite sword, 4 hits on that thing. I feel like that's kind of a lot. You may be curious about survival, so let's just go ahead and go for it. I had like no health, okay, so. For science, let's just go ahead and run that again. The Skulk Spy right there, it's invisible, but it's right there. Yeah, instantly, just gone. They're very, very strong. It's a little bit brighter in the overworld, so while we're here, let's talk about some of the Skulk traps. So we've seen this one before. This is the Skulk Poisoner. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like the Wither Rose. You walk on it, and you get damaged. If you stand on it, you just keep getting damaged. Like, literally just like the Wither Rose. This next thing is that block right there. Watch this. If we move over here, we get stabbed, we're nauseous, and it's really, really dark. So that's a dangerous one. You'll be able to find these all over the ground inside of the deep dark. Next up, we have the Skulk Jaw. That's this block right here. We move into it. and it like eats us. So like it deals damage. Obviously, not exactly ideal to experience in survival, but I love the concept of them. Like skulk blocks that you have to watch out for. Imagine the warden chasing you. You're trying to get away, and then you fall into one of these things. Like that would be terrible. The skulk jaw, the skulk assailant, the skulk poisoner. Love them. So next up, let's actually go back into the deep dark dimensions. So to get back in there, here we go. We use this thing, and then let's say, I don't know, like something tragic happened, like kill. Something bad happened. Now we're back in the overworld. Let's check this thing out. There's a small problem. It's broken now. If I want to go back into the deep dark to, like get my stuff back or something like that, I can't just use a diamond on it. I'm actually going to need to fix this thing first with obsidian. So obsidian, there we go. We fix it. Got the skulk vein out of it. Now we can go back, diamond back inside of it, and we can re-enter. It happens again. Oh no, that's not good. And it's back to how it was. So these things aren't really like single use, but at the same time, you can't just like repeatedly enter and enter and enter. You're gonna need to fix it every single time. There are two big things that we haven't taken a look at until this point in the video though. One of those things is gonna be the warden. So the warden, there it is right there. Now look at the texture of this thing. Terrifying. It has teeth now, apparently. yeah, very, very disturbing looking. Yeah, terrifying. Now, let's say we were in survival near the warden. Darkness, nauseous, and... an absolute machine. Yeah, apparently an absolute machine. So let's just say that wasn't exactly fair. We just have a netherite sword, we want to take it out. It's going to take a long time. The thing is an absolute tank. It's really, really strong. Also, check this out. As it walks around, it spreads the skulk. I feel like the idea of the warden walking around and spreading skulk is a really, really interesting concept. I mean, it could be kind of bad in vanilla Minecraft if the warden just walks everywhere and turns everything into skulk. But I like it. Maybe it gives an extra incentive to like be careful and not actually get this thing into your world. But this mod is huge and the video is getting long. We're not going to be able to check out everything today. Another thing that is really cool, this mob right here. The thing is called the Skulk of Mystery, and the texture of it is so cool looking. It's like a crawler, like literally. One thing that this mod really brings to my mind though is more skulk mobs other than just the warden. I love the idea of it. I really kind of hope that in 1.19 there's some kind of other skulk creature that moves around, maybe is way less dangerous than the warden, but it's like related to the warden. I like the idea of it, and I feel like it would kind of start to be like the nether, where you have like piglins, zombie piglins, things like that. I don't know. The idea is cool. The Deep Dark Dimension is sweet with all the custom mobs, the dimensions, just everything about it. There's a lot more to it than we could check out, but it's awesome. It's really cool. Also, the warden, seeing it in the game, it's like really surreal. It's always fun. We end the video on the highest of notes possible, though. This stuff right here. Yeah, that's really good. What is this stuff, though? Oh. It lives. Grimstone. It lives. That's the sole reason that I made this video today. So this mod is really big. There's a lot more that we could check out. We could also run some more survival tests. Do you like the sounds of that? If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Should I make a part 2? The idea of the Deep Dark becoming its own entire dimension is something completely different than what we're going to see in 1.19, but I think the concept is really, really interesting. I mean, I always love the idea of extra dimensions of the game. I feel like it adds a lot to the game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. The mod is linked down below. I'd like to send a big thank you to my patrons, Austin V, Sortiri, Tanner B, and Fateful Grimoire. It's been me, Waddles. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.
Mm-hmm.